Hello, everyone. So we're just waiting for everyone to join us. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. Okay, great. While we're just waiting, I'm just wondering if you have been working with Sweepstakes vertical before. So if you do, just type yes in the comments, and also if you never did this before. Oh, great. I see that pretty much everyone worked before with that. Okay, and have you ever worked with RichAds before? Also, yes or no? Okay, so I see that there are many people who haven't worked with us, so hope that after this webinar that will change. Okay, so I think we're ready to start. Great. So hello everyone, my name is Anastasia and I'm a performance manager at RichAds. My job is to help our clients to reach the best result with us, and today I will be hosting this webinar. Today we will talk about sweepstakes. So we will cover this topic from three main sides. First of all, it's affiliate marketer will help us in this topic. So welcome Nick Lanham. Just waiting for Nick. Yeah, great.
Hello.
Welcome. Hello, nice to meet you. So the second one is a Cpa Network. Welcome Francisco from Movidia. Great. Hello. Nice to meet you. And also RichAds as a traffic source. So as some of you might know, the main traffic source with RichAds is push. And also it's a really good traffic for sweepstakes. And this is said by many of the experts, and also our internal statistics show that. So today we will mainly speak about sweepstakes based on push ads. But just a note for you, so these tips that you will hear today, they are working as well for other traffic sources. So check them with other sources as well. After this webinar, we will send you the information with on your email. So what you will get after the webinar. First of all, you will get the webinar recording. You will get ebook about sweepstakes, presentation, and pack of icons and images for sweepstakes. And there will be some list of bonuses from our speakers today. So don't forget to check your email for all this great information. So we're talking about sweepstakes, and let's start with some small sweepstake here as well. At the end of this webinar, we will choose a winner who will receive $100 for the account on RichAds. So that will help you to get us know better and to start with us with this small gift for us. So stay tuned till the end of this webinar. Okay, now let's go through the agenda that we have for today. So first of all, Nick Lanham will tell us how to prepare a push ad campaign at the start. He will tell us about creatives and landing pages. After, we will show you how to create and set up your first campaign on RichAds, also based on the tips that Nick will share with us. And I will share some tips and tricks for the optimization on our platform as well. Then Francisca from Movidia will tell us how to choose a profitable offer and some words about main mistakes and how to avoid them. And at the end, traditionally, we will have a Q&A session. But remember, if you have any questions during this webinar, just leave them in a chat. And at the end of this talk, we will answer all your questions. So I think we're ready. Let's go. And we will start with our first speaker, Nick Lanham. He will tell us a short overview on how to prepare a push ad campaign from the start. And a quick note for everyone, if you have some specific question for Nick, just leave it in the chat and make a note question for Nick. Nick, you're welcome.
All right, thank you. My name is Nick Lenahan, and I've been a full-time affiliate marketer for about 8 years now. I've worked with just about every traffic type there is, including Google, Facebook, natives, pops, banners, and push notifications. I've run traffic for most verticals, including Sweepstakes, and Sweepstakes is one of my favorite ones, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Sweepstakes are prize giveaways where a winner will be chosen by chance to get a prize. The most popular prizes are iPhones and Samsung phones and gift cards from popular brands, but you can find prizes for just about anything really, from gaming consoles, shoes, makeup, etc. The vertical is very newbie friendly, has a very low barrier to entry. And competition in tier 1 geos can be high, but that's pretty much the same for any vertical. Sweepstakes is evergreen, meaning it's probably always going to exist in some form or another. Even during Corona, Sweepstakes has been performing quite strong. There are lots of sweepstakes offers available, and you will be able to find them on just about any affiliate network, although some affiliate networks will specialize in sweepstakes more than others. If you need any networks by name or referral, feel free to check out my blog or send me an email. The most common conversion flows that you'll see in tier 1 and tier 2 countries are single opt-in, double opt-in email submits, and credit card submits. And in tier 3 geos, you'll mostly find various carrier billing flows such as IVR, SMS, or PIN submits. The most popular geos for sweepstakes are the USA and most of Europe, and offer payouts can range from less than $1 up to $40 depending on the conversion flow you're working with. Push notification traffic is used heavily by affiliates to run traffic for sweepstakes offers, and there's a good reason for that because it actually converts quite well. For sweepstakes, you're almost always going to want to use a landing page to maximize your conversion rate, as direct linking won't get you very far, although with some carrier billing flows, you might be able to get away with direct linking. If you're running push traffic, the user flow is almost always going to be add creative to a landing page, which then goes to an offer. For creatives, you can find creatives in just about any spy tool. Some popular ones are Adplexity and Anstrex. I personally prefer to use Anstrex, but both will be able to get the job done. When you're using a spy tool to find creatives for your campaigns, you might type in something such as iPhone and then filter the results by how long the ads have been running. Generally, it's safe to assume if the ads have been running for more than a week, they work, but it's not always the case. For creatives, you can copy them exactly as you see them in spy tools, but I would suggest that you use them more for inspiration and create ads based on the ads you find in spy tools. So you might change the image, modify the ad copy slightly, add emojis, etc. Push notifications consist of two main parts, the headline and description, and then two images. The small image is more important than the large image. And then for creatives, for sweepstakes, there's a lot of room for you to be creative. So there's a lot of opportunity with creatives. You can go with general creative. Let's go. There we go. You can use general creatives, such as you have one new message and click here to read it, or you can be more specific with your creatives and mention a prize by name. For images, it's mostly best to use a simple icon such as a present or maybe just a phone or some other type of icon like a bell or anything really, just a simple icon, because the icon image is so small, it's hard for anyone to see anything with much detail in it. The main purpose of the ad creative is to get somebody onto your landing page. So that's like really where you have lots of room to be creative. You want your click-through rate to be as high as possible while still being somewhat relevant to the offer you're promoting. There are pros and cons to being specific to the prize you're advertising or just being generic. So I suggest you test both options and see what works best in your campaigns. For push ad creatives, you are mostly always going to want to translate your creatives into the main language spoken in your target geo. You can use services such as 1 Hour Translation, find someone on Fiverr, or just simply use Google Translate. For your ad creatives, Google Translate is mostly going to be good enough because the text is short enough where Google should be accurate to get a good enough translation. Emojis in your ad creatives can help with your click-through rate, but it's not always the case. Again, use simple icons as your images. Anything more complex, the user won't be able to see well. Another tip for your images in your creatives is you can make them look like an actual notification from a typical app, like a new message. You can put a little red circle with a 1 inside of it, so then it's like one new message. Initially, when you're testing your ads, test a whole bunch of different angles and types of ads to see what gets traction, and then you can make variations of those ads to try to get the best results. If you want to speed up your testing, you can totally ignore making a big image for your ads. And later, if you see your campaign has potential, test it out and see if the big image actually helps or not. For landing pages, the user should almost always go to a landing page. It just works better for sweepstakes. If you try to cut corners, you're probably not going to have good results. The landing page is where you hook the user just enough to complete the offer. And landing pages can be found in spy tools. Most common types of landing pages you'll find are spin wheel, prize box, short surveys, surveys with much more ad copy, and on push specifically, you'll find lots of postal company type landing pages. And here's what they look like. The spin the wheel, you've probably seen these before. You spin the wheel 2 or 3 times and you land on the prize, and then there's instructions on how to claim it. The prize box is a similar way. You pick 1 or 2 boxes, the prize is magically inside of it, and then you can go redirect to the offer page. Here's an example of the postal company page. These come in many different forms. This one, here's a survey, but sometimes you might find a track your package type page. And this one is also a specific brand, but there's generic variations of this out there too. And here's a short survey with 4 questions, but you might find one with much more ad copy than this. And so I suggest testing all 5 of these types of landing pages. Each geo, some landing pages will work better in some geos than other geos. So you'll have to test and see when you switch geos, which works best for you. With sweepstakes, almost all of the landing pages are interactive. And the purpose of this is to help the user feel like they've actually earned or done something to get the prize that your offer's for. I suggest making sure that your landing pages match the prize that your offer is promoting. For example, if your offers for an iPhone 11 don't have pictures of an iPhone 8 on your landing page, because it just doesn't flow that well for the user. And then you can improve your landing page conversion rate by adding various scripts and other elements to the page, such as a countdown timer. There's like 5 minutes remaining. Add scarcity. Many times after you go through the quiz, you'll have 2 or 3 prizes to choose from. 2 will be grayed out and you can only pick 1, and it'll say like only 2 left. Social proof, this is usually in the form of comments. Sometimes this is effective and sometimes it's worth it just to remove the comments completely. You can also call out attributes of the user in your ad copy. This is done by passing tracker variables to your landing page, such as the browser name, the phone brand they're using, maybe their internet service provider, and it'll just make it more personalized for the user, so it seems more believable. And then you can add the current date for the user with JavaScript, and make sure that your date is in the format of the country that you're advertising in. And once your landing pages and creatives are ready, you can create your campaign in your tracker and launch your campaign. If you've never run Sweepstakes before, I'd suggest that you start out with 3 to 5 different landing pages and 3 to 5 different ads, so you can see what works best, and then go from there. Make variations. Maybe your landing pages don't work, so you need to try completely different ones. And that's it for me. I know my presentation was quite short, but I do have a course specifically on sweepstakes offers with push traffic with much more information. If you need step-by-step guidance on how to set your entire campaign up from start to finish, then check the course out. Attendees of this webinar are getting a $200 discount on the course. There's no coupon code required, and this special price is going to be the lowest price that the course will be offered for this year. And then as another special bonus for webinar attendees, you can get a free 10-page PDF detailing 6 different methods on how to find a CPA affiliate offer with real potential. This will work for any vertical, not just sweepstakes. The link should be in the chat if you want to sign up for that. And that's it for me. Thanks.
Okay, so Nick, thank you so much for your part. It was a lot of information about creatives and landing pages. And now as we have all this info available for us, I think it's time to see how to set up your first sweep campaigns with RichAds. So I will show you how to make it and show you some tips and tricks on optimization and setting up part. And right now I will share my screen with you, so please let me know if you can see it. Okay, everything is synced? Great, thank you. So the first thing that you will see when you arrive at your account, it will be this tab with different types of traffic that you can choose. But again, as we have been talking today, we will discuss push. So you just click on push and start creating your campaign. I will show you on some pre-made example. So the first thing that I advise you to check is going down below. Here you have Rich Push Insights. Basically, here you can see all the information regarding our platform. So which geos are the most popular right now, which verticals are converting more. You can find the CPC, CDR, and volume on any part of region, or for example geo, operational system, everything that you need. So we do update this information pretty often, almost each week, and here you can choose the time range that you want to look. So it's a really great piece of information for you just to have an understanding what is working on our platform. So before you start, I really recommend you to go and check it out. And when you're starting your push campaign, first of all, it's about creatives. Thanks to Nick, we know everything about creatives right now, and landing pages as well. So we do recommend you to set up from 3 to 5 different creatives, so you can do a small A/B testing from the start and find the best way for your user with a really short period of time. So the title and the message should always be different, as well as icons and creative image. And here on the right, you can see how actually your push notification will look like on the phone and on the mobile. So as you can see, that creative image is actually important for desktop, not so much for mobile, but again, it's better to have both of these images done. And you can see that I have uploaded 3 creatives here, so from 3 to 5 will be great. Now we're moving to tracking. It's always up to you to share your conversions with us or not, but we have some great features that actually will be an advantage for you. So sharing your information with us can really help you with optimization, and I will talk about them down below. But again, if you have your account manager, and with these great features that we have, tracking can really save you time and money and help you with optimization and everything. So it's always a great way to share the information with us. And you can track using 3 different types of tracking. It's basically pixel, image, and postback request. The postback request is a server-to-server, and it's actually the most accurate one. Here you can find all the platforms that we are integrated with, so you can choose between what you need and go and set it up on that part. And pixel and image is basically a script that you are implementing in your code of your landing page or after the registration. And also you can implement several pixels, for example, on the landing page and on the thank you page. So you can track both the information from the landing and about the conversions. So it's another great way to have the info about your campaign. Now we're moving to targeting. And as Nick said, the best geos for sweeps is actually tier 1, and it's same in our platform as well. So right now we will be talking about United States. So you select the United States over here. You can also choose the regions and the cities. But again, if it's your first time when you run the offer and you don't have any limitations, you can just start with all the regions that you have. And then when you have the information on it, you can choose if you want to exclude something or if you want to continue running on all the country. When you type your country over here, you immediately get the recommended CPC. This is actually the most accurate information as it's updated in real time based on the information from the auction that is actually going on the platform right now. So that will help you down below with the budget. Just remember that you have this information over here, and also you have it in the down right corner. Now we're moving to choosing on which device we actually want to run. Sweeps at our platform are working better with mobile, plus push traffic is mainly for mobile, so it's like 80% are for mobile. So yeah, just a great idea to start with that. You can also choose about manufacturers and models, but again, right now the offer is not requiring it, but if there is any limitations or you just want to try it, you can choose between any manufacturers in the list below. And we're setting some limitations. So I recommend to use impression cap. That will limit your advertising for 2 impressions per 1 user per day. That way you can keep your campaign fresh for a longer time, so people just not so worried of seeing the same thing over and over again. So yeah, it's more converting that way, and keep some limitations. If you're using impression per user, then it's not necessary for you to use clicks cap, so you can just go with impression. And we're in the budget section. As I have told you, the recommended CPC, it will automatically be over here, and it's actually great to start with it, as that will give you opportunity to have lots of traffic from all the sources, so you can really test it out. When we're talking about period for which we want our campaign to be active, if it's your first test, it's not really good idea to have the unlimited budget. It's better to limitate the budget and set it, for example, 100 per day. I recommend to start with 50 to 100 for the first test, but again, it's really depends on the CPA you're looking for. For example, if it's $3, then yeah, that budget will work. But if your CPA is something around 100, so for sure you need more. And we are moving to the section where you can decide whether it will be a sub or even. A sub will give you traffic as fast as is possible. It's actually usually the cheaper option than even, because even spreads your budget evenly throughout the day, and some parts of the day they're more expensive, so probably you will not be able to participate in them if your bid is actually lower. So again, it's up to you what you want to try, but if you have like a first test, then it might be a good idea to start with a sub and then just switch to even if you will see that you need it to be like more evenly covered throughout the day. Here, our great feature that we have is a CPA goal. So if you do share your conversions with us, you can set the CPA goal over here. As you can see for this offer, it's $3. And after your campaign gets 10 conversions, the system will help you to automatically optimize your campaign. It will be done by switching off some sources that are not profitable for you, or some operational systems, or maybe with the microbidding that we will talk later on. But again, that will just save you lots of time, lots of money, lots of your effort, because the system will basically be helping you without your need to actually watch it or like take an action in this process. The Smart CPC is another feature that we have that will help you to optimize bids based on your conversions. So for example, this feature can lower your bid for some sources if the conversion that you have is actually more expensive than you was expected it to be. Again, another great feature that can be used by with the tracking. And if you don't track conversions, the system can also help you to get the traffic cheaper when it's possible to have it. But basically, sometimes if you have the bid that is not recommended or below the recommended, then it can block some part of traffic. So it's not a good idea to have it if the bid is low. Okay, and now we're moving to advanced targeting. So as we have been talking, Sweeps is really popular on push right now. So people kind of seen it lots of times, and they can become a little bit bored of the same offers. And it's a great idea with the Sweeps to actually test it out on new subscribers only. So new subscribers only is basically the audience who has been subscribed on push for less than 7 days. They can be a little bit more expensive, but they are way better converting one, because they basically never seen it, so they're interested and they are willing to try it. And so here we're switching new subscribers only. It's actually a great idea if you have any campaign to have like a split test where you will be having only new subscribers only, because they do show better results usually, and it's great to know like what results can you expect using them and without them. Now we're moving to operational system. As we have chosen mobile traffic, we're choosing the latest versions of Android. Over here, for example, if I will exclude Android 9, I'm pressing here and I can choose it again. And here on the right, you can see the percentage. It's basically the amount of traffic that belongs to that operational system. So when you're choosing anything, just be sure you don't exclude something that has like the majority of traffic, because you will cut your traffic yourself and it will be harder for you to get any better results because you don't have so much traffic to choose from. So we can choose the browser here. Just remember that Chrome, almost in all the countries, is the most popular browser, so don't exclude it. But again, for this offer, we don't need to choose it, and we just continue. With the browser language, as it's United States, we will not be choosing the language. But if it was any other country, for example, some country in Europe, you would choose, for example, for Germany, you would choose German, and please choose the English as well. Because in the majority of the countries, English is the most popular after the country's language, or sometimes country has several languages that are official. So be sure to choose them all. Again, not to exclude some great part of the traffic just by some mistake that you made in the settings. Here we can choose connection type, carrier, and ISP. This is something that is needed for some offer. For example, if it's some particular mobile offer from some carrier. But with us right now, it's not needed, so I will just skip that part and go down below. And we come to sources. If it's your first test, and even if it's not your first test with us, but it's some new offer that you are just launching, we recommend and we insist even so you will launch it on the premium sources. Premium sources are updated quite often. We do update them each month or each several weeks. This is the best sources based on our internal statistics in the way of conversions and in the way of quality. So we do recommend you to start with them. There is plenty of traffic only on these premium sources, so don't be scared that you will not get the traffic, the amount of traffic you need. You will, definitely you will. But it's basically the best sources that we have, and it's easier for you to get the great result with from the start with the best quality sources for you. After that, when you have some information, you can start the optimization and then scale on standard, remnant, or new. You can also ask your manager when you're scaling which sources would he or she suggest you to add to the campaign, and they will send you the list what can you add to premium. But the premium one is basically your start point, and it's always, even if you're working with us currently, it's a great idea to have a split and test your campaign on the premium sources because they are really the best. And as we're talking about mobile, if you are looking for iOS is only on in-page sources, so they are marked with this green button. So make sure you choose them all if you are looking for iOS. We also have an option to turn on your list automatically. It's actually a great option. You can switch it on. That will help you to be updated with the latest sources that we have. And we're adding new sources constantly. Almost every few days, we have some new source, and that can help you to be updated in real time without you actually needing to go to your campaign and add the sources. You can just switch it on and just test the sources in the time that they arrive. And here we have some space for optimization. I will tell you a little info about it, but basically if you need more, there would be a link in our chat on our blog about all the topics that I will mention right now. And you can read more about it. You can always ask us or your manager, send us questions, and we will help you out with that. You have an opportunity to make white or a blacklist. I recommend you to always work with blacklist because whitelist is actually burning out pretty quick. And again, all the optimization should be made only after you have some information. So you did some testing, you have the information, and you start the optimization. It's not necessary to spend a lot of money. Just spend some part so you actually understand what is the cost of conversions that you're getting and how can you lower it down. You can create your blacklist based on publishers and sites. I recommend to start with sites because it's a smaller amount of traffic. So again, you're not cut enough. But sometimes if you see that the publisher is not performing, then sure, you can put it out here and you will stop receiving the traffic from it. You can also mix publishers and sites. The system will work with that and everything will be fine. Microbidding is another great feature that we have. This feature will allow you to set different bids for different sources or operational systems. Again, for example, you have a test and you see that one source is performing great and giving you conversions cheaper than you actually expected. So you want to have more traffic from it and you need to raise the win rate from it. So you go here and you type public ID. For example, it's a source 1170. And you multiply by 1.2 to add 20% for this particular source to the bid. And on the other side, you see that some source is actually giving your conversions a little bit more expensive than you would want. So you go here and you type again the same thing, just different source, again, just for example, and you multiply on 0.8. So you take 20% from the bid for this particular source. That can save you a lot of money. You don't need to copy your campaign constantly to have different bids. You can just have it all in one campaign and everything could have the bid that is needed to get the conversion that you want. And now we go into the schedule. Again, it can be needed if, for example, your offer has a call center. Or, for example, if you have run a test and you see that some particular parts of the day are more expensive. So you want, for example, to select the period from 9 to 6 or from 9 to 9, where you see that the performance is better. So you can go and just check it over here. And that way, your campaign will be running only through this time. You can choose between user local time, which is basically the time of the country you're running for, or UTC. You can choose to start now or set a date range. And we're coming to the last point, is automated rules. Automated rules is another great feature that you can choose to have if you're sharing your conversions with us, your information. The system will see the info and it will help you to optimize without you actually being the one who is forcing all the process. And again, please note that you need to have it set only after you have some testing period, so you have some data and you actually see what is the real cost for conversion that you can get and which information you should include in it. For example, I will show you how to make a blacklist using automated rules. I will choose to do it with the sites, the blacklist, and here I write down the conditions. For example, if the site has spent more than $4, remember that here my conversion cost is 3, so let's make it 4.5, and give me conversions less than 1. So for example, if the site has spent more than $4.5 and hasn't given me any of the conversions, I choose to blacklist it. As I'm starting my campaign now, I'm just choosing today, but if you have been running it for a time, then you can choose last and, for example, 2 days. So the system will check the last 2 days and find the sites that are actually go against this condition and blacklist it. So you don't need to do it manually, and you can just do it with the help of automated rule. And here you can choose how often do you want the system to check your campaign. It can be a sub, which will be basically each 20 minutes, or it can be by time, and you set just a time in a day where the system will be checking it. But I'm choosing this up. Each 20 minutes sounds pretty cool. Okay, this is basically all the information, so you just save it and it went to the moderation department, and moderation will check it out, and within an hour your campaign will be approved and activated. So now you know how to create your campaign on RichAds, and I hope that you're starting with us from today. Okay, I'm turning off my screen. And again, I just want to mention that the Q&A session will start at the end of this video after our another speaker. And if you have any questions, you are free to leave them in the chat right now. They will be just answered at the end of the video. So thank you. And we're going next. So, and now it's time for our next speaker from the Cpa Network side. So if you will have any questions for Francisco from Mobidia, don't forget to leave them in the chat with the note question for Francisco. And welcome, Francisco from Mobidia.
Hello.
Hello.
So my name is Francisco. Go ahead, and I work in Mobidia. I've been a affiliate manager for about 4 years now, almost 5, and I'm here to give you guys the perspective on the affiliate network side. So what's on the other side of the border? I hope the pandemic hasn't affected your personal life that much. At least on this side, we've been working from home. I'm doing this webinar from home, which is a bit new for me, but I hope giving you guys the perspective from the company side will help you guys understand a bit more about this theme of the sweepstakes. So let's begin. So what kind of offers do we see more as an affiliate manager on the affiliate side? I would say that right now, as normal and would be expected, push and pops are the biggest traffic that I receive from my affiliates. I would say that right now push is delivering much more in terms of actual profitability and quality than pops, because they are a new ad format. Most users still don't receive as many push ads as pops, and the interaction of the user is much higher. So as Nick mentioned in the beginning, if you create a good pre-landing via a push ad, the user is much more likely to interact with the ad, and then finally at the end, after he has answered a couple of questions, okay, I will put my personal details, and you get the sale. Now about pops. I would say right now pops, the main advantage is that they are cheap. You can get thousands of clicks for a small amount of money, but the interaction of the user is not as big as it could be. Now, a pro tip that I would give you guys, at least from the perspective of the network, is check with the networks that you work with. What is if they have any kind of promotion or a blog, sort of like Mobidia, for example. We have Mobidia Academy, and you can access this via your account, and you will see like a list of all the traffic sources and the tools that the network works with. So one pro tip that I would give you guys would be to check if they have like a list of networks, traffic networks like RichAds, that they have promotion code for the first deposit or just an extra deposit, etc. Between desktop and mobile, I would say that right now push on mobile, at least because Mobidia is a mobile company, but mobile, at least in general, we see that it's much bigger than in terms of potential than desktop, because it's a new thing that most users still don't receive as many as they could compared to other traffic types. So mobile, at least we see that there is a big advantage. And then I would say that there is a split on 3G and Wi-Fi that is important to take notice in case the offer itself has a difference between mobile carrier billing or not. But this is something I will approach with. Yeah. So what is the different kinds of offers that we see? I would say that right now, at least from my perspective, I see two kinds of offers. I would say that right now we see on the sweepstakes CC submits and double and single opt-in. CC submits are usually offers, like Nick mentioned, that pay very high payouts, like $30, $40 or more, depending on the flow. But the advertiser pays when the credit card is actually valid. So right now we see better performance for this type of offers in Nordics, France, and Baltic countries. Why? Because the billing rate is higher. The billing rate is how easy it is for the user to be billed by the advertiser. So if you are running an offer that is credit card flow and you get a sale, then the advertiser, a sale is essentially the advertiser is trying to bill the user to get the money from the credit card of the user. And some countries are easier than others to get a billing, to get the money from the users. And right now, those countries are the ones with the best billing rates. Then you have the single and double opt-in. We see this mostly in tier one Latin countries like Spain, Italy, and also English speaking like US and UK. The reason why is because these countries, the billing rate is not as good. So the advertiser does not pay per credit card. It pays per potential client, per lead that you send him. And then he will try to make money in some other way. But these countries, we see the cost per lead much more present. We also see on tier three and African countries the mobile carrier billing, because the mobile carrier billing, 1 click or 2 click, normally doesn't need even a Prelender. But this is also something that I will talk about later on. Now, something that we see a lot right now is the fact that iPhones are starting to be a bit too much for most of the users. I think everyone who is watching this understands that everyone has seen an ad for you want an iPhone, and no one believes, at least in tier one countries, that you want an iPhone, So right now we are seeing diversification from iPhones to other kinds of many diversified products, from Xbox, gym memberships, PlayStations, cash price. You put your number here or your email, and you get a gift card or an Amazon gift card. We had an offer last month in Australia for baby products. During COVID, we had sweepstakes for toilet paper. So we are starting to see a diversification away from iPhones, because iPhones are getting too much the same everywhere. Now, this does not mean that iPhones disappears. Okay, we do still see occasionally a good offer with iPhones, especially when Apple releases a new version of their iPhone. Like when iPhone 11 or iPhone XS came out, there were some good offers for these. Okay, but you need to understand that this is a temporarily good offer. Eventually, people get sick of it. So you need to see that there are more different kinds of products on the contest for these sweepstakes. So let me give you an example. South Africa is a big country for mobile. We have interesting offers there. I'm showing you an example of an offer from us where the sweepstakes is actually win cash, you know. So the user just subscribes for the chance to win some cash, not some iPhone. And you see here that the offer is 2 click. So sometimes, especially in African and Asian countries, the offers are not CPL, you know, not email submit, but they are actually quick flow. This means that the user just has to click accept on the terms and it's already subscribed. In these cases, unlike normal cost per lead, you can actually test direct linking. But I would suggest to split test, you know, buy half of the traffic with pre-landing and half of the traffic without pre-landing. And then see which one actually works best, okay? And based on this, see what is the, the one that has the higher CPM. I see that someone asked about regulations. This is good because it's something that is actually on the slide for me to talk about. Please talk with your affiliate network about what kind of pre-lenders and promotions you can actually use on your ads. Okay, some countries are much more strict than others, so you need to talk with your affiliate manager on the network side to see what kind of banners, what kind of landings you can use. So, for example, South Africa is a country with very good offers and interesting traffic in most traffic sources, but the regulations are much more strict than if you buy, for example, to Malaysia or Philippines, etc. So in these cases, you need to talk with your affiliate manager. Most of the time, almost every country requires that if you put pre-landing, you cannot put on the pre-landing that the user won the prize. Okay, you need to put a chance to win the prize because it's a contest. It's not a sure thing. So there are very small nuances that you need to discuss with your affiliate manager to see which one actually works well or not. And then later on, I will speak about how to test an offer based on different traffic sources and the biggest mistakes that we see here. So this is an example of that we see in Asia. For example, this offer accepts much more lax pre-landings because the countries have um, much less regulations in terms of what you can do on the landing. So for this offer, for example, instead of the South African offer, in this offer you can actually put something much more, you know, you won the prize or click here to win the prize. You can be much more relaxed in terms of what you can do. So if you have any questions, please talk with the affiliate network that you work with and see what are the regulations. Normally, a professional looking landing page will look better. But don't, by professional, I don't mean that you should use images that are, you know, very common from those standard, very corporate things. No, it just means that the landing has to have a good hosting, you know, so that the user doesn't take more than a few seconds per question. The hosting has to be good. The flow has to be good. It has to be smooth so that the user at the end, it's like a natural step to convert. So now let's see some tips on how to choose a good offer. I would say that you need to talk with your affiliate manager. Your affiliate manager is not just the guy that sends you the offers, okay? Your affiliate manager, he has access to internal stats on the network, what the other affiliates are doing well or not. So it's in his interest that you also have good results because if you don't have any revenue, he doesn't have any revenue. So ask him and speak with him, not as some guy that sends you the offers, but as some guy that can send you the different offers based on what's doing well or not. Secondly, in regards to the sweepstakes vertical, ask him what other kind of prizes he has on his portfolio. So most of the time the offers are iPhones, but there are many offers where the prize is not an iPhone. So you can ask him, and you should ask him, if there are offers with this type with different kinds of prizes. And then also you should check the kind of allowed traffic that this offer allows. So as I was talking about the regulations, you need to see what kind of traffic. Is it pop? Is it banner? Is it push? What is allowed? What is not allowed? Can you sell this offer to other people to run for you as well? Because some affiliates do this, but some networks don't allow it. So you need to see with this with your affiliate manager. And finally, a pro tip that I would give you and that I've learned from the past 4 or 5 years of working in this industry. The good offers are always hidden. Okay? The good stuff, the good offers is like good wine. It's always hidden. That good wine you only share with your friends. So don't don't just add your affiliate manager and the first conversation that you have is give me more payout, give me the best offers, give me. No, you need to understand that there is a relationship based on trust, based on what he knows about you, based on the traffic that you are sending to him, and then he will see, okay, I trust this guy, maybe I'll start giving him some of the hidden stuff, okay? Because it's on his own initiative. Because every network in the business has offers that are hidden, okay? And you will most of the time not get access to these offers unless the network really trusts you. And by really trust you, it means having some relationship that has lasted for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months of running offers with stable traffic, and he sees what you can do. Okay, so what are the mistakes that I see as an affiliate manager? The big 5 mistakes that I see. The first one is not using pre-landing. So as Nick mentioned, it's very common, at least it's very common to use a pre-landing. Okay, if you just put an ad and you send a page to a user that says put your email here, I mean no one will trust such an ad because everyone has seen this kind of thing on the internet and it's a scam. So what you need to do is create a landing that makes the person feel like they are, the escalation of effort fallacy. The more you are involved on something, even if it's not working, the more you are wasting time and money on it. So you need to induce this behavior on the users. So a landing is for this. You create a landing with a couple of questions so that the user, after the questions, he's already on the mindset to put his data in because he's already wasted some time on the question. Now, this does not mean that you need to use a landing every time, okay? If the offer is 1 click or 2 click, like we saw on South Africa above, it's okay to test direct linking because in these kind of offers, the user only has to click accept on the conditions to convert or not. And let's be honest, most of the people who install video games or are in websites or whatever, they just click accept without even reading things. So if the offer is 1 click or 2 click, in these cases, I would actually suggest to split test if with and without landing page to see which one performs well or not. And then the thing about the payout, I see this a lot, especially with newbie guys, that they see the same offer, in different networks with much less payout or more payout, and they think that the payout is everything. It's not. What's important is eCPM, okay? What's important is how much you are spending per click and how much revenue you are making per click, okay? The same offer, if it has $4 payout and converts one time, and it has 60 cents on another network and converts 10 times with the same traffic, the one with 60 cents is better. Okay? You need to understand that the only thing that can prove that the offer works is if you test. And it's very common for networks in the industry, unfortunately, to change a bit the payouts and the conversions and how to optimize those things. So what you need to do is test. If it's the same offer, test both networks. And only with our real data, you will see which offer is better or not, even if it's the same offer, the same product. Okay? So this is something that we see a lot. That the payout, for example, for us is a bit less or sometimes a bit more, and they expect that the performance is the same. It's not. What's important is eCPM. The eCPM is a function of payout times CR. The offer has high payout but doesn't convert, doesn't matter. Okay? And vice versa. The payout is low but converts a lot, maybe it matters. So you need to test always, split test. And yeah, that's the third, also the third mistake. Fourth one is the post deck integration. So we see this a lot. We see that many affiliates just put the payouts, put the offer, they just put the click ID equals something, and there is no real post deck integration. You need to make sure that you are tracking everything when you create an offer campaign. And this means the click ID, but also the payout. Many advertisers and networks, including Mobidia, sometimes send extra sales from fallback. So let's say, for example, that you bought 100 clicks to Vodafone, okay? And the offer is only for Vodafone. But 20% of those clicks is Wi-Fi, okay? So many networks monetize this 20% and send you the sale. If you don't integrate the post deck correctly, even with dynamic pricing, you might see on your tracker that you had 100 sales with much higher payout than the reality, which is less sales on the offer, but many sales as extra from the fallback. So make sure that you integrate the post deck correctly. Okay, and the guy on the affiliate network side will help you with this. In the case of Mobidia, at least between us and your tracker, it's relatively easy to integrate. We have partnership with the biggest trackers, so you just need to put your domain, and on our side, it's already integrated. Then you need to do it on the affiliate network and on the traffic source side. But that's something that most of the time we can try to help, but we might not be able to help you unless you talk with the traffic source. And finally, let's talk about the traffic sources, not actually testing with relevant volumes. We see this a lot, especially with newbies. For example, Anastasia showed you the list of traffic sources. Only RichAds, just RichAds, it has like 40 or 50 different traffic IDs. And we see many times the affiliates, especially newbies, who send us 50 or 100 clicks, and then they stop because they didn't have any sales. I mean, if you are buying traffic somewhere where there's like 30 different pub IDs or 50 different pub IDs, if you send 100 clicks, the average is 1 or 2 clicks per pub ID. This is nothing, okay? This doesn't mean that you need to spend huge amounts of budget to test them out, okay? I do think that with some experience, like for example, Nick is experienced, so he does know how to test. But if you guys are newbies, with some experience, you will start to learn how much you need to test to see if the offer converts good or not. Normally, I suggest affiliates, depending on the country and the price of the traffic, to test, I don't know, like $5, $10, $20 total. And then see what is the what is the performance or not. So you do need to test. And if you don't see a sale, but you see that other affiliates are making money with this offer, then the problem could be on many different fronts. Could be the traffic source that doesn't match the offer, could be your landing that is not connecting with the offer, could be something, okay? It's you need to talk with your affiliate manager to see what he can help you. But some things are also outside of his reach. Sometimes it's on the traffic source side. Sometimes it's on your landing page that is not coded correctly. So we do try to help, okay? But you need to see what is the whole flow and see what works or not. So you do need to test with relevant volumes to see if the offer does actually convert or not. Okay, and finally, this doesn't mean that you need to be a millionaire, to test every offer. It just means that some volume is needed. And yeah, I would say that these are the biggest mistakes that we see on the affiliate side. I think the most important thing is that if you are going to work with a network, you need to see the guy on the other side as someone whose interests align with yours. Okay? If you don't have any revenue, he doesn't have any revenue. So you need to see it as him, not as your opponent, but as the guy who also wants you to succeed. Because if your campaigns are profitable, it means that you will send him more traffic. Okay? So it's in my interest as an affiliate manager that your campaigns are profitable. Because if they are not, you will just stop working with us. Simple. Um, yeah. And so this is are the main points that I wanted to discuss with you guys. And I think Anastasia will now take it from here in terms of any questions that you might have. Now, as a bonus from our idea, we would like you to find it on the description on the chat what you need to do to get more rev share as a participant on this webinar, what you need to do, or email the email that is on the chat to get 5% more on the payouts of your offers. So, for example, if we get $1 from payouts, we will give you 5 more cents. Okay, so that your campaigns can have a bit more punch to it. And yeah, I think this is everything I wanted to discuss with you guys, and Anastasia will take it from here for any questions that you might have.
Thank you very, very much, Francisco. It was actually a great speech, and we learned a lot of new information. And it was actually a great quote about wine. Really funny and so true. So thank you so much. And now it's time for our Q&A session. You have left a lot of questions, and we will be answering them right now. Again, if you have some still, just let us know and mention it here. So we got a lot of questions. If this video will be recorded, yes, this video is recorded and it will be sent to you by the email. So if you have missed something, then for sure you will be able to check it out in the recording video. Will this be recorded? Again, lots of questions if it will be recorded. Okay, we have question for Nick. What is your favorite affiliate network for sweeps offers, Soy and CC Submit?
My favorite affiliate network for sweeps is mostly ClickDealer, to be honest.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Another question, I think it's for you because it was left during your speech. Can you show your landing page for iPhone CC Submit? Show us your landing pages.
Unfortunately, I can't show my landing page. I'm sure everyone can understand why, but you could use a spy tool like Anstrex to find pretty much every landing page.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure everyone is understanding that you don't want to share your secrets. Okay, another question for you. Why are prelenders so important in your opinion when some offers lenders look perfectly fine to lead to continue to
So,
conversion?
so the pre-lander is what hooks the user to complete the offer. They get committed, or they feel like they've done something to get the prize. It's very common that people that haven't run sweepstakes think that the offer page looks fine. I can just run traffic to it and it'll convert, but it just doesn't work like that. You need to convince the user why. Like, you need to get them committed to completing the offer, and that's what the landing page does.
Okay, thank you so much. Another question for you. What is the expected CR for sweepstakes offers like a gift card or win an iPhone? And what are the conditions to get a good CR?
So this is pretty much impossible to answer because it varies by offer, geo, and traffic type. There's way too many variables to answer this.
Okay, but again, is it like a good landing pages per lenders? Is it something that is influencing a lot?
Yeah, your landing page will improve your conversion rate significantly.
Okay, thank you. Another question. Hey Nick, since you have doing affiliate marketing for so long, which tracker would you recommend for the newbie and why?
I'd probably just go with BMob probably because it's free for 100,000 clicks. Or if you're feeling adventurous, you might check out Contura. They offer 1 million clicks for free per month.
Yeah, great. RichAds is actually integrated, so yeah, we're also really supporting this tracker. So yeah, thank you. I think that one is again for you. It's a bit confusing. Traffic platforms are okay with the icons so similar to big services.
I think you're referencing like brand
Yeah,
icons,
I
like
also thought about that. Is it like about brand images? I can tell like from our side we do have some restrictions. So yeah, it's not always possible to use the icon that is actually similar to some big services. But again, it's really dependent on the offer and like you can talk with moderation and with the support team to actually understand what is the difference and where you can like you can go through with that. So yeah, you need to talk to like our network, I would say. Have you seen any difference in other like traffic platforms or networks that you have been working with?
yeah, some networks are incredibly strict with trademarks, and some don't care at all. So you'll just kind of have to read their ad guidelines and see what's possible. Sometimes you can just change the icon, make it look similar-ish, same colors and so, but it's not really a trademark. Like, make it look kind of like it, but not the same.
Okay, got it. Thank you. And we have, I think, two similar questions, like not similar, but I think you can answer them at once. So, the first question is I've read that the spinning wheel is very effective for sweepstakes. Where can I find a good source code for a spinning wheel? And also, another question is like, where can I find a good landing pages? So, I think you can just talk about both.
Yeah, so I would just download one from Ansterex. There's for spin wheel, there's probably like 10, 20, even more different variations of this landing page. So I would just rip one from there and modify it as you need.
Great, great, great. And about the good landing pages, where do you usually like search for them or the
Same thing, Ansterex. That's where I suggest everyone start to find landing pages. You can think you know what you're doing. Maybe you have a marketing background even, but with affiliate marketing, it's just different. Like, you might as well start with what's already working and innovate from there.
Okay, great. Another question. I think that's like it's all for you, just because they were left like once you have been talking. And so yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I will switch to Francisco. Don't think that it all will be just for you, but yeah, this is like your related questions right now. Okay, are big images on push ads important as per which element are the most important as per you? Small image, big image, headline, or description?
My opinion, big images aren't that important. Like I said in my presentation, you can totally just ignore the big image when you're testing and then add it in later if you see your campaign has potential. For the most important element, I would say split between the small image and the headline.
Okay, great. Okay, let me look for other question. And 1 second. I think the other one is actually for us. Yeah, that is actually like other questions are for us to answer as a network. Hi, do you have a push in Latin, Ecuador, Paraguay, Mexico, for example? Yeah, but do you have a lot of traffic there? And I would say that among these three mentioned geos that you have here, like Mexico is actually the biggest one. Yeah, but we do have traffic in all of them. Okay, as Nick has disappeared, Nick, thank you so much for the questions. Just I was thinking that you will stay. Okay, the second one, hey, which the mean dep in your network so far is $100 is our minimal deposit that you can make for the first deposit actually. Okay. What is the best source for photos? If you are still with us, I would actually ask you to specify. If any of my colleagues know, maybe is it something that you can answer if you understand the question? What is the best source for photos? If you mean the icons, then yeah, I think the internet will be the best that you will find. But maybe like with our networks, we can actually make creatives for you, so you can order them from us. It's actually for free. But just to know, like Nick, where are you usually looking for the creatives itself? Is it any like specific thing?
No real specific. I mean, you can look on Google Images, or just type in free icons, and there's many websites such as Flat Icon, Icons 8, and Icon Finder. There's a whole bunch more websites too, but you can find a ton of free icons on there, and some of them will let you change the colors easily, so you don't need to use Photoshop.
Yeah, great. Francisco, is there any, like, maybe you have some other information about the creatives? Okay, I think that we have some problems with. Okay, yeah, here.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, there are some. You need to be careful about something. About the branding. Okay, when you look up the images on the internet, be careful that you don't use branded images like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or things like this, because it can bring problems to your campaigns on multiple fronts. But there are also some websites where you can get some interesting stock images that for free. That there's like many different repositories on the internet with millions of photos that you actually have permission to use them and edit them using Photoshop or whatever completely without any issues. So I would also search on Google like deposits of the stock photos, okay, that you can use on different topics. There are a couple of websites. To be honest, I don't remember some of them, but I used to have a list. But if you just Google it, there are some websites where you have like 2 or 3 million photos that you can just download, and then you can just change them however you want. There is no There is no commercial problem with doing that or using them.
Great, thank you. So another one, I think we can all stay here just to reply. Push pictures burn out fast. How often do you advise to change them? And we have some specification for that on sweeps specifically. I would say that with other network, we recommend to change them like each 5 to 7 days, so they are actually like not burning out. Have you noticed any other differences, or what is your opinion on that? For example, let's start with you.
For me, I change them once you see the click-through rate or conversion rate dropping on your landing pages. Like it really depends on how much volume you're running, how big the geo is, and etc. Like that's what causes them to burn out.
Okay, Francisco?
How often you need to change the creative?
Yeah.
You need, it's important that you integrate the post back with your traffic source, in this case RichAds, so that you see the amount of sales. And then on the source itself, you can see what is the performance. I mean, on my side, I would suggest changing only when you start seeing a drop on the CTR of the creative. What's more important, I would say, is to have more than 2 or 3 creatives, maybe 4 of them, two that are doing well, and then keep rotating like every 1 or 2 days if you have something new that you can try. In terms of the website, I just found it. An example is pexels.com. It's a good website that you can find interesting stock quotes.
Okay, great.
So just rotate them, I would say once or twice, once every 1 or 2 days. But what's important is to track the CTR to see which images have better interaction with what you are advertising.
Okay, thank you. So the next question for us, if for RichAds, if I'm not beating the top view presented, am I missing out on some good conversions traffic on the network? How does it work exactly? So yeah, not all the sources that we have the same price. So if there are some sources on each geo that are a bit more expensive than the regular bid. Plus, it's all in auction. So, for example, if the other advertiser bids on some specific source a higher bid, so it takes you like a higher bid to get the traffic from that. So, there could be some sources that will be limited. Either you will not have a lot of traffic from that, or you will have not traffic at all. So yeah, but you can check it with like the win rate that you have on the sources, and just with microbidding set the bid that you need to get the traffic from it. So here the next question, how much money should we spend to test our first ad? With RichAds, it really depends on the offer that you are running and on the CPA that you're looking for. So yeah, there is not really. We have lots of sources, and with this limitation only on premium sources, you will need less funds to actually get result. That's why we have selected like the best sources, so you can actually have a great results from the start. But again, it really depends on the offer and on the conversion that you're looking for. So the next question is to Nick. Do you know any hacks on setting up and optimizing push campaigns? Like maybe like if you could choose like only 3 or like 4 points, 5 maybe, just a quick review, like what do you actually need to do?
Like a hack for setting up campaigns would be like if you're trying to use a language that you don't speak normally, like not English, then use Google Translate, and there's a built-in Google Translate function, and you can quickly translate many headlines and descriptions all at once. optimizing. If your traffic source supports it, like RichAds use their rule-based optimization.
Okay, great. Okay, we go next question. Do you prefer PC or mobile push?
I prefer mobile. There's more volume and it's easier to work with, I think. Like your landing pages, it's easier to make because the screen size is smaller, and with desktop it's much bigger. But the mobile pages will work on desktop as well. But mobile has more volume, so you might as well just focus on that. I would suggest it.
Yeah, mobile has like way more volume on push, so it's better to start with it. But like if you don't have any kind of offer that is only for computer or desktop, limited. So another question for Francisco: is MobiD and UB friendly?
Yes, you asked the right question. So we are the most newbie-friendly network because we even have an academy with completely free lessons. You don't need to do anything; just go there. And there's even like a program with different steps, like 25 different steps that you can learn about different kinds of topics, traffic sources, etc. And then at the end, there is like an academy with a list of different tools and traffic sources and promo codes, etc. So we are actually, I would say, the biggest newbie-friendly network, not just on this, but also because the minimum payout for us is, with the exception of bank transfer, is $50. Okay, and we pay per week. So actually, it's much easier for you to do small campaigns with us if you are a newbie than with other networks who might just pay you once a month or they need a minimum payout, etc. So actually, our specialization is actually introducing many new people to the business because with us, the volume that they need to get paid is much less than most other networks. Okay?
Great, thank you so much. Um, okay, so here's the question: what other offers do you recommend to write on push traffic rather than sweepstakes? What like? Let me phrase it differently. What is like the most? What is the best offer for push traffic that you have noticed recently, for example?
Well, aside from sweepstakes, we see other two kinds that are doing very well. So dating is doing really well with push, especially if your prelender does what Nick was talking about. If it engages the user, and at the end, he's already committed to putting his data, and also mobile content. Mobile content works really well with push because the user, especially if it's one click or two click, because the user only has to click accept to convert. And most of the time, the user doesn't even read the conditions of the product. He just clicks accept to move on. So many times the offer converts really well on mobile content because, yeah, the flow is much easier. So aside from sweepstakes, I would say right now also dating with cost per lead, so for CPL, and the mobile content on quick flow.
Okay, great. And Nick, what do you recommend?
Mobile content, dating, gambling, those all will work good. Financial stuff can work too. Carrier billing, though, is probably a good starting place for a lot of new people. The payouts are in some geos are pretty low, so you won't need to spend a lot of money for testing.
Okay, and here's a good question. Has COVID-19 affected sweeps payouts and conversion rates? And before asking that, just want to mention that we will have answering the questions for another 5 minutes. And after that, like, don't leave us because we will have a lottery. So we will check who is actually winning $100 today from our webinar. And the question: Has COVID-19 affected sweeps, payouts, and conversion rates? Francisco?
Yeah, I would say no, because when you need to see on the perspective of the advertiser. Basically, the sweepstakes, you are being paid to increase the database of an advertiser who will make money in the future with the leads that we send him. So the underlying value of those leads is still the same. And the value of the lead is what translates into a payout. So if, let's say you convert 20 times, so 20 emails, and the advertiser only has for $1 payout, and the advertiser only has to sell his product to one of those 20 emails to make 25 euros of revenue. So if the math on the advertiser is still the same, then the payouts are the same. Okay. So I would say that COVID-19, at least on the payouts on the conversion side, has not affected us. If anything, what I saw on the COVID-19 was a much bigger diversification. Sorry, was a much bigger diversification on the contest of the offers. So in the past, we saw a lot of iPhones, but during COVID-19, I even saw sweepstakes for toilet paper. You know, so there's different. I think it has been in some levels a good thing if you know how to position yourself in the market and how to promote the temporary opportunities that are appearing sometimes.
Okay, and Nick?
I agree with pretty much everything Francisco said. Nothing's really changed with sweeps for COVID. Like other verticals, some verticals completely crashed, like travel, and sweeps just pretty much stayed the same.
Yeah, we have noticed the same thing, that we haven't struggled. Okay, so Nick, let's start with you now. Do you suggest Wi-Fi or 3 4G connection? Like, have you noticed any difference in working, and what do you suggest to try?
Like it depends on what offer you're working with. Like if you're doing carrier billing, then you're most likely gonna want to try 3 or 4G first. But if it's like a single or double opt-in, I would just initially throw Wi-Fi and 3G together in the same campaign and see if you need to split them up or pause one of them.
Okay, great. And maybe let's ask Francisco, which countries are the best for sweepstakes according to your opinion?
That's a too much generic question for me to answer you. I mean, there's huge variety of sweepstakes, prizes, traffic costs. I mean, to be honest, this is not something that I can answer so directly. You know, what's important is you need to know what is your specialty. Are you good with promoting iPhones? Are you better promoting winning cash? And then based on that, then you know which countries might be good for you. You know, there is not the best country for just because it's the best country. You know, like South Africa for us in the past was not a big country for sweepstakes because we had other stuff doing very well, mobile content specifically. But now we have a few offers that are sweepstakes, and they are the best offers that we have in South Africa. So they completely surpassed other things that we're doing well. So it really varies on what kind of price are you normally better promoting. But like if your pre-landings, your landing pages are better for promoting cash, then you need to see which countries have more offers where the price is cash, and vice versa. So there is no better country. It's more based on your experience.
Okay, I got it. Thank you so much for your answer. And I think we are finishing with our Q&A session. Yeah. Okay, so Yeah, right now we're finishing with our Q&A session. I just want to say thank you for Nick and Francisco for helping us today and sharing so much useful information on that topic and also answering all the questions together. And also telling everyone who has left the question, because I see there is plenty questions left, but unfortunately we don't have time today to answer them all online. So they will be answered in the mail in some additional information that we will send to you. Or you can also just text us, text our support on the website, and we will answer you as well. And if you're registered with us, your sales manager or account manager or support team, they can also help you. So right now, let's move on. We still have a few bonuses that we will give you. So first of all, it's for all of you who has been at this webinar and will decide to join RichAds after that, we have 10% bonus for your first top up. You can receive it by using a promo code RichWin. So it will be 10% for you, and all you need to do is to tell this code to, again, sales manager, account manager, support team member, anyone. You just deposit, and then we add you 10% bonus with this promo code. And now I think it's time to see who will get $100 on RichAds account. So we have this lottery right now. Okay. Let me move it over here. So let's start. Okay, so it's Ahmed Shada66 at outlook.com. I'm sorry if I have mispronounced your email or your name. Okay, so here you see this person will receive $100 to the account that he will hopefully create with us and start working. And just if it's you and you're waiting from us, we will text you on the email, and we will send you all the information on how to collect this bonus and help you with all the registration and everything else. So okay, and just to sum up all the information that we will send you, you will receive it tomorrow. So please don't forget to check your email. You will get a webinar recording presentation of all speakers, a special ebook about sweepstakes that was created especially for this webinar, pack of icons and images for sweepstakes, and a list of bonuses from all our speakers that were taking part in this today. Again, I just want to mention another information that on the 8th of October, we will have another webinar that is will be about the it's so-called onboarding webinar. It will be on the topic on how to create your first successful campaign with RichAds, and the registration links will be either on your mail, you will find it there, or you can also check all our social networks, and there will be also links for registration. But if you are here today with us, you will receive it on your email. One more time, I wanted to thank Nick and Francisco. It was a pleasure to have you with us on the webinar today. Again, lots of useful information, and thank you so much for sharing all these tips with us. And thank you for all the audience who has been with us today. It was amazing, and hope to see you all on our next webinar. Okay, so thank you so much. I think that's all for today, and see you later.